Saturday night in Southern California. We welcome you to the USL Championships coverage as Orange County SC ready to take on the Oakland Roots Championship Soccer Stadium in this all-Californian affair. With Ricky Lopez, Espen, Mike Watts on hand, we will not bury the lead. Orange County did receive a transfer fee on Monday. They moved their head coach, Morten Carlson, to his native Denmark, where he'll take over a side that just narrowly avoided relegation, Lyngby Bold Club. Carlson took over as the interim a year and a half ago. 22 wins in that time, including an 8-game winning streak late last season that led Orange County to be one of the hottest teams going into the postseason. Paul Hardiman takes over as the interim head coach. He was initially hired under the previous manager, Richard Chaplow. He's been with the club dating back to 2021, including the 2021 USL Championship final. Ricky, we speak to Oakland. They say business as usual, right? When you talk to Paul Hardiman, what do you anticipate here tonight?
I think you look at these players and there's going to be a reaction out of the players because they want to impress their new head man. So I said, wow, what does the first 10 to 15 minutes look like for this Orange County side? We asked him, we talked to him earlier this week, and he said, I want my team to play quicker. So they're going to get on the ball. They're going to move the ball from left to right. But what a fantastic opportunity it is to impress him and keep your name in the team sheet. Let's
take a look at tonight's player to watch for Orange County. We can talk about getting your foot on the ball more often, but our Omega Accounting Solutions player to watch, it's Colin Shuttler, player of the week.
I think he's going to be massive between the sticks for this Orange County side. The saves that he makes, a big-time save, but he's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Organization skills, leadership, communication. He needs to be very good at getting a clean sheet here at home to hope that they keep 3 points in Championship Soccer Stadium.
And he's going to have to try and find a way to shut down Johnny Rodriguez, who can make something out of nothing any minute of the game.
I think his movement is what sets him apart, the ability to play off the blind side, to run those channel runs, and he's also a ruthless finisher. He wants to get on the end of things. 4 goals, 2 assists on the season. He needs to be very good for Gavin Clinton. The question is, what does the service look like into Johnny Rodriguez? Because he can be a game changer.
Well, both teams required to make changes to their lineup due to suspension and injuries. And so we'll let you know what that looks like. We're looking for a superhero tonight. It's Marvel Night at the Champ. OCSC and Oakland Roots are coming up next.
And the best start since 2011 for OCSC continues. 4 unbeaten to start the campaign.
Kids grow up fast. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. With Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
Here in Orange County, passion runs deep for the beautiful game and for the community. That's why Patterson Autos is proud to be the official sponsor of the Orange County Soccer Club. From Tustin Mazda to Tustin Hyundai, Huntington Beach Mazda to Mission Viejo Kia. We're 4 dealerships strong, serving Orange County with the best selection of your favorite vehicles. At Patterson Autos, we believe in teamwork, community, and giving back. So join us in cheering on OCSC. Come visit Patterson Autos, your favorite Orange County dealer, and let's score together.
This presentation of Orange County Soccer Club is presented by Raising Cane's, the official chicken finger of OCSC. It's the hero that Orange County deserves. Thor sings the anthem on Marvel Night. I just never thought his singing voice would be this good. Let's take a look at the first lineup that interim manager Paul Hardiman has assembled. He has to make changes. Olaski down an ACL tear. No Kasipli either.
It's going to be really interesting, a 4-4-2 formation wide that he elects to go with. Chata and Scott look for them to dictate tempo, move the ball from left to right, and Zubac, a play that he was really high on, had his best game in an Orange County shirt. He plays high next to Jamison. Look for them to run in behind and stretch this Oakland Roots back line.
Let's take a look at the Oakland lineup under Gavin Glinton, interim head coach, who took over from Noah Delgado.
When you look at this side of 4-4-2, diamond side with Mafeka, the number 10, he's going to be the player that wants to get on the ball, that wants to make things happen. Rodriguez, he's going to stay high. He's going to occupy the center backs, but I look at the balance in the middle of the park. That's going to be key for Gavin Clinton. How quickly can they get in a rhythm, especially here in a hostile environment?
Rodriguez. What a remarkable goal scorer he is for this Oakland side. One that's welcomed in the inimitable Dom Dwyer as well. The young starlet, Bryce Jamison, looking to make an impact from the beginning here tonight, just his 7th start of the campaign. It is a new era, Paul Hardiman and Orange County. It's going to look and feel a little bit different. Morten Carlson, in a very short amount of time, captivated the fans. A lot of love for the departed manager who takes over Lyngby, who told us this week that he looks forward to rooting on his former lead assistant. Here we go on this Saturday night. Orange County welcome Oakland. Matchup of two teams above the playoff line in the Western Conference. Well, if you're Oakland, you come off a 2-1 loss at Monterey Bay. Game in which they, frankly, felt like they should have gotten something, a point or 3 out of it. Traeger and Dixon scoring 30th and 48th minute. Rodriguez put him on the track back in the 64th. Oakland ultimately fell short on the road on a nationally televised stage last Saturday afternoon. Corner. Sent away. Lighting's going to be a little harsh here for the first, let's call it 15, 20 minutes.
Maybe your glasses?
Forgot them.
Okay.
Scott steps in, continues here for Oakland. Hackshaw. Sent in behind, whipped across. Shuttler threw his hands up. That'll get out. How about we take a look at tonight's keys to the match? Presented by Patterson Auto.
You had to just speak with the head man for Orange County, and he said it's always close when you play against the Oakland Roots. Lost at the last second away from home, so now we have to match your intensity. We have to earn the right to play, and that was one thing that he did not mince words. First 10 to 15 minutes, say you're like for like with the Oakland Roots, and then the players in the center of the park. You want them to get on the ball and get confidence within the side.
It's away from Njai. Rasmussen left out of the team against Monterey Bay. It was a really hectic moment in the schedule. Ultimately chose to rest him. No Cozy Donaciano tonight. Picked up a second yellow for Oakland in the 84th minute of that game last Saturday. Now, it's been pretty impressive watching Oakland make as many changes as they have and still garner results in recent weeks. And even Monterey Bay, they don't get the result, but I don't think it's far-fetched to think that indeed they could have earned something out of that game on the road.
I think Gavin Clinton is pressing all the right buttons to get the reaction out of their men. A team that in their own right has had changes as well. But you look at their roster, you look at the talent, really to galvanize the troops, and get on the ball, grind out results. It's not going to be an easy feat here for Orange County.
Njai begins the pressure. Rolled out by Sorto. Lobbed in behind. Flick on! Jamison trying to find it again. Zubak will set that toward the young winger. And Hackshaw out beyond the halfway line.
I think you look at the two players higher up the field for Orange County, Jamison and Zubak, complement each other very well. Jamison, a lot of direct movement with his pace. So you're going to see Zubak come into that hole and try to create a little bit of an overload. Now, if you're Hackshaw, Riley, Rasmussen, and Diaz in the back line, communication, passing players off is going to be key. Bit of an experience from Hackshaw here. Player that I think is very underrated with his ball playing ability and kick-starting the attacking unit from this back line.
Down to Shuttler. Scott commits a foul.
Bit of a different look for Johnny Rodriguez. He's going to play a little bit deeper underneath Cherit. So now if you are Scott and Chada, ability to backtrack to the defensive side of the ball, it's going to be really important and try to take the game away from Lindo Mafeka and Johnny Rodriguez.
There's the aforementioned Mafeka. Wow, that is a really early statement from the referee. Elton Garcia indicating he won't be listening to Kyle Scott much more tonight before he issues a yellow. That took 6 minutes. When's the last time you saw a warning for dissent in 6 minutes?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Soso got overtaken. Orange County entered this weekend in a tie anywhere between 6th and 8th place in the Western Conference. It's pretty much been that way for a month now, this giant logjam of teams. And these two are right in the thick of it, although Oakland seemingly pulled free a bit until the loss to Monterey Bay allowed some others to catch up. Hackshaw got a piece. And Lamb pulls it back. He's given it away cheaply to Njai. Running at Chavez. Able to flick that across. And down to Scott.
You see how explosive this Oakland root side and be at turning their defense into offense. Cherie's first touch lets him down. So changing the point of attack for Gavin Clinton and company can really unbalance Orange County. Talked about the movement of Johnny Rodriguez off the blind side. So he's always going to be an outlet on that weekend.
Here's Chavez, signed to a 25-day deal. His 3rd appearance for the club, 2nd start. From behind, Hackshaw got in front of Zubak. Rasmussen. Chata. There's Ryan Flood. A little center back. I didn't know he had that tool in his kit.
Said earlier this season, called him Phoenix Rising plays at number 9 as well. Versatility, never in question for Ryan Flood.
Whereas Phoenix yesterday, jaw-dropping result at the hands of Memphis, and then today, relieving their head coach of his duties halfway through the season Danny Stone, the former assistant to Juan Guerra, took over the head job. Turns out he had a much shorter leash than anyone could have imagined. Lamb, good cut. Never picked his head up. Instead, this sent out altogether. Lamb had gotten to the point there where he probably had a better look at it than Scott did.
I think he needs to make a decision here. Lamb, as he cuts in, just watch Zubak. There's no secondary movement, because if he peels out, that's an open pass. As Gomez closes down the space, rolls into the path. Kyle Scott and his quality. Leaning back, shoulders go back, and that's why it goes up and over the crossbar. Here an outside back and Owen Lamb. He's going to provide a little bit of quality in the final third and create an overload on this near end here.
Rasmussen. And so. Nice run through midfield. Feka puts it wide. And driven in front. It just needed the finishing touch. Sliding effort. Nothing on it.
And Mo Diaz, 3 assists on the season. It's a fantastic ball in, just begging for Johnny Rodriguez to get on the end of it. Right behind that back line. Shetler can't come off his line. Gets caught in no man's land. Nearly the opening goal for the Oakland Roots. And those are the types of runs that I've been so impressed with Johnny Rodriguez. At the timing to play in between center backs to blind side is a nightmare to defend. You pair him now with Sherry, who requires a lot of attention, a physical attacker in his own right. So Johnny Rodriguez can find some joy and arriving late into the attacking areas.
Sherry. Njai. Rodriguez. Massoso. It's blocked. Soso looking for an explanation, part of some really good Louisville City teams before making the move out west. There's Kevin Glinton, took over as Noah Delgado left the club. Regrettably, Oakland has over the years made, I'd say, too many coaching changes, especially mid-season, but seemingly never without the desired effect. This is, for whatever reason, consistently a second-half team. Lamb cuts a dangerous ball in that Paul the Wall Blanchette is able to grab. When you think about Orange County, so Zubak gets the opportunity up front tonight. We get to see Bryce Jamison get another game in. As we take a look at tonight's injury report presented by Zulfagari Law, there is a new addition to that group. Brian Olaski, a torn ACL against Indy 11. They snap Indy's 8-game win streak, but it comes with quite the price. What's the difference in this Orange County attack now with Olaski out of the mix?
I think now you're looking at players that operate in between lines. So that's what Brian Olaski was, one of, if not the best player in USL Championship. Player to combine in tight spaces to really unlock opponents and their back line. So now you're asking maybe for Sorto Dunbar to come a little bit central to play as that connective tissue between that midfield line and back line. Do you think you talk to Paul Hardiman, and he's a player that kind of really going to find a difficult replacement just in terms of his profile and skill set.
And we saw Buddha, right, from San Jose, loaned out to Monterey Bay. This hung over the penalty area, grabbed by Shuttler. Part of the conversation I had with him was, and this is of course about Monterey Bay, but I think a lot of teams would agree with it. We're starting to see some injuries pile up. You get to this area of the season, most MLS teams are out of the Open Cup. You've got Leagues Cup coming. You're starting to make decisions, who's going to play, who's not, what's it look like when players come off international duty with Copa America and the Euros at that level. And so can you find a guy that improves your squad right now And can you find a guy that's not going to get yanked away from you in 2 weeks? Because that really doesn't do you all that much good.
I think you ask any coach in the USL Championship what has to be frustrating when you think you'll have a player for an extended period of time and their plans change, he gets recalled. So yeah, I do think Buda is going to be a fantastic addition to Frankie Alp and what he's trying to do. And those are the real gems between the MLS and USL kind of pathway. It speaks volumes as well for the USL Championship to understand that players in MLS will get quality minutes and quality opportunities at this level.
But it is that combination of what's the value of a loan versus Orange County obviously has never had a problem playing the young kids, and we've seen whether it be Ayub or Lee or Ruiz or Barjolo get some time this year. Peter Nugent and now Paul Hardiman are going to have some decisions to make about that. Corner for Oakland inside a quarter hour. Header smashed across and tapped in by Riley. Oakland has gone south to Southern California and grabbed the opening goal.
Set pieces are so important, especially when you're on the road. Not the initial ball, but it's a secondary action. And he's onside. Shot's about a yard behind him. Give credit to Sherry, does everything right, heads it back into the mixer. Every player in an orange jersey gets caught ball watching. No one has a responsibility to track a man. And Riley will not find an easier finish in his professional career. 2 yards out in the blink of an eye. Oakland Roots in the lead here on the road.
Riley, the tap in right in front of goal. You want to talk about he won't find an easier goal in his pro career? It's only the second goal of his pro career. The last came May 23rd, 2019 for Sporting Kansas City 2. This man scored in his 5th pro game and then went 118 games without a goal, and now he hit pay dirt again.
You have that on your bingo card?
It was not on the card. That is a plus 1,000. Out into the width. Flood. Dipping and diving and angling into the penalty area. Swings it back. Floated crossfield. Lamb. There's Blanchett.
It's going to be a frustrating goal to concede if you're Paul Hardiman, because that's not X and O's, that's not tactics. That's pure responsibility and willingness. Defending 1-on-1, stay with the man. Never get caught ball watching. What's the reaction look like to this home side? The next 5 minutes are going to be really important to get your foot on this thing and settle into this game.
I am chuckling at the idea that Camden Riley, 5 games in, is going, scoring in the pros ain't so difficult. Sherry and Lamb share a moment. Up from Hackshaw. Sorto blazes by Shata to take it on for OCSC. Here's Scott. Crazy busy night in the championship and the League One schedules. Jägermeister Cup in full swing. A lot of games like this, such critical 6-point games at this late June juncture. Blanchett dives out on it. When you're 2 points apart from a team in June, are you really paying attention to that yet, or is it so far out that it doesn't cross your mind?
I think as an individual, I never really paid attention to the table. When I got deeper into playoff picture, that's when you started to really count points and understand the dynamic of that situation. I do think you look at both of these teams, how tightly contested match that they've played throughout the history. Close in proximity, was a little bit of an extra match between these two. And that was something that both coaches said. This time in Oakland, Gaggi scored a goal at the last second. Stole points from Orange County, so at home, they're due one here.
Gaggi unavailable tonight due to injury for Oakland. I appreciate that he's become a singular name kind of player in this league. Rasmussen came back and held on. Streaking forward, ball taken by Flood. Ultimately ricochets off him. Let's walk you through the Western Conference standings for a moment. This coming into the evening, Orange County on 21 points in a tie anywhere, as we mentioned, between 6th and 8th. Then Oakland is catapulted all the way into 3rd place. But tonight, anyone from 4 to 8 could catch them.
Incredible.
Ugh.
Incredible how tight and competitive this Western Conference is.
Meanwhile, Louisville, a victory tonight, raises them 11 points over anyone in the Western Conference and 5 points above Charleston. So this may be the year in which the Eastern Conference has a chance at payback on home turf. And an eventual USL Championship final. Long way to go, however. Feka for Metsoso. Njai. And it was like that going into the last, week or two last year in the Western Conference, right at the playoff line, too.
Just did the Miami FC Detroit game. Coming down into the last regular season game, same points. Just the draws were a little bit different. Goal differential tells you how much USL Championship has grown. No matter where you are in the table, you always expect a competitive match.
And then ultimately Detroit slithers into the playoffs and takes out the 1 seed in Pittsburgh. Usually the 1 seed that's not safe comes from the Western Conference, but last year 3 first-round upsets in the East.
And that's the beauty of it. You love playoff football. These players understand you get into the playoff picture, you get it, you give yourself a chance, and that's all you can ask for.
That's part of the chat I had with Noah Delgado before he departed, and eventually Gavin Glinton. This team can do some damage if they get in the right place. I feel like Dom Dwyer's addition, he's available tonight, could be one of those acquisitions that gets them over the hump consistently once he gets fully fit. Dwyer could be making his first appearance in Orange County since 2013 today. Comes off the bench. That's when OCSC was still playing in Fullerton. Dwyer was with Orlando City at the time.
Great ball.
Shaw played it into Njai. And Njai's going to feel a little hard done about that. See what the referee saw.
It's the right arm. I think that's Chada that he catches, or Chavez, excuse me. No ill will. Once you have that right arm extended around the face neck area, you run the risk. Or give you a better look. It's a right arm right here and catches him. Good spot by our center officiato crew.
And Elton Garcia is eventually talked into a yellow here for Njai. 5th yellow to go along with the red for Babacar Njai this season. Oakland grabbed the lead from a very unlikely source. Camden Riley tapping home. Ball crossed back on a set piece in the 15th. And the man who's captaining Oakland tonight put the Roots ahead.
Talk about versatility for Ryan Flood. Camden Riley has played a numerous of positions under Gavin Glinton. We've seen him play in the center of the park. We've seen him play as a wingback. Now slotting in next to Hackshaw on the back line. He's been a nice little addition for the Roots.
And Jai tried to track that down. It's kind of funny. I was chatting with Gavin Glinton for the first time ahead of the game against Monterey Bay last week, and I start kind of going with a handful of players that have shown that versatility. I go, where do you really see this guy? And eventually, I got to Hackshaw, who just passed that ball out of the back, and he goes, if you're going to ask the same question, you're going to get the same answer. We've got a lot of really versatile guys that can play a lot of different positions.
I think you mix that with the experience as well. Watch out here.
Well, the numbers are good, but what a vital recovery as Miles takes it on. And after winning the ball, Scott nearly seated it back, but a handball.
I think he's a really important part and player for this Orange County side. His technical ability, his passing range, the ability to change a point of attack. Hard to find someone in the Western Conference that has the same type of vision as Kyle Scott, but now
Well, across.
when you get that talent and get more productivity, goals, assists, is the next step at the progression.
Dunbar. Blanchett.
He's been really quiet. 25 minutes in. 1 goal, 2 assists on the season. Not hit it clean enough. Really challenged. Followed the wall. Straightforward save for him.
Or you can shorten it and just say Paul Wall, right?
Paul Wall, there you go. Fantastic nickname.
It's been a minute since I heard Paul Wall at all. The well-regarded rapper and DJ, part of Swisha House. Didn't think this was coming your way today, did you?
That was not on the bingo card.
No, it wasn't. By the way, Oakland, by grabbing the opening goal, they're unbeaten this year. 4 wins and a draw when they score first. Orange County has conceded first now for the 9th time this year and only taken 5 points from it. A win, 2 draws, 5 losses. So we'll see what they're able to do here in this first game under new management. Well, into the top of the 18. I did have a chance to talk to Morten Carlson extensively for USL All Access on Tuesday night, and that show's available now on the USL YouTube page. Error portion at halftime. For one, I did not pick up my skinny jeans that he left me in the pro shop yet, the team store. Ball sent long. Back to Blanchett now. Jamison providing a little bit of pressure. But the opportunity to go to Lingby just too good to pass up. He did play briefly for them. It's a side in the Superliga that narrowly avoided relegation. The wild part is he got 1 day to train the team, and they had their first scrimmage of the offseason the next day. He also got to LAX, 9 bags in tow, the ducklings, as he said, and no passport. So he found himself in the Danish consulate with his self-described angel helping him fill out the paperwork so that he could leave the country.
Oh, man.
The U.S. government and Border Control nearly played an epic role in lifting the transfer fee from Lingby. If they had just held on to him a little bit longer, I would think.
So you're telling me we have to tune into that episode of All Access.
I think a lot of good ground was covered.
There you go. Okay.
Morten is he's going to be a really missed figure.
He will be.
Not only in Orange County, but just a really genuine guy when you speak to him over the years. And you and I have done enough Orange County games over the years to have gotten to know him pretty well. This about 50-game stretch he led the club. Ball drops in here for Jamison. Jamison may get another crack, and Rasmussen finally corrals it. Got laid out at the end.
And he's been really good, Rasmussen, to start this match. Not easy dealing with a player like Jamison, so direct. This is a lot of pace and wants to go at his individual defender. Rasmussen has not put a foot wrong. Much like Riley, he's been a fantastic pickup for the Roots.
There's Rasmussen again. Sherry held off. Feka. When he was healthy in Reno, Feka was among the most enlightened midfielders in the championship, and he's always got that gear. You know, Paul Hardiman played over 400 games in England. Take a look at this. He's not an assistant anymore. It's his world. We're all living in it.
That technical ability.
Yeah.
Left footer. Laces through the ball. No backspin whatsoever. Impressive stuff.
60-year-old former left back. Best known for his time at Portsmouth, Sunderland, and Bristol Rovers.
I heard you were looking for a TST team. He can be on that.
I think so. Ball tapped outside. Gomez toward Njai. That did eclipse the line. And I think a lot of people would actually pay for the TST, let's call it over 50 bracket. County Line Coalition lined up tonight here in Irvine. Sorto couldn't pick it up. That's so-so. Far for Sherry.
It's been a bit sloppy over the last 5 minutes for Orange County. Oakland Roots have elected to press a little bit higher, so now how clean can you be playing out of your back-end decision-making? There's nothing wrong with playing Route 1 and gaining some real estate higher up the field. You cannot afford to have sloppy turnovers about 25 yards away from your defensive goal.
Throw for Orange County. Oakland only 8 points in their first 10 games, but they've got 5 wins in the last 7, and you could argue that their season turned in part on the earlier win, the late Kagi winner against Orange County. Went on to win 5 of 7 games after that. That's Chata, who's shown yellow. The impactful tackle on Masoso.
Just no need if you're Chata to try to make a play on this ball. Matsoso turns away. He's playing negative. As you become a little bit overzealous, you take him out. It's a clear foul. It's to be really good in his discipline and positioning for the remainder of this one here. I think the relationship between Scott Chata and Sorto needs to be a little bit better for Orange County. Sorto and Dunbar, the 2 players that started out wide, both came centrally.
Feka, maybe a chance to take that out of the air, but it's Rodriguez who has to go. A ride right at Shuttler.
Just so instinctual from Johnny Rodriguez. Has one thing on his mind, how to put this on target, and just watch the hips. How quickly he closes them to get it on target.
Couple games ongoing tonight, including a barn burner that features the top team in the West. New Mexico and San Antonio going toe-to-toe. It's in the 75th minute. New Mexico leading 3-2. Springs leading Monterey Bay out in the Rockies tonight, 1-0. Final 20 there. Ball through Rodriguez. Rodriguez, a blast. Shuttler able to wipe it aside and out over the line. Corner.
How good of a ball is this from Lindo Mafeka? Does not break stride from Johnny Rodriguez, and his first touch is everything here. Gets it out of his body, and now that gives him the ability to tag it on the second touch. If he picks out a corner, it's 2-0 for the Oakland Roots. Fortunate enough for Shuttler, straight at him. No nonsense goalkeeping. You're here, and Shuttler picks up a yellow card, taking the ball away. Frustration from the keeper for Orange County.
We are 3 yellows deep in 34 minutes. This game is not for the faint of heart. Corner for Oakland. Oh, narrowly. Sherry drops to his knees. He was totally unmarked. And Orange County better figure this out in a hurry because they have struggled with these set pieces. Take a look here. So Shuttler is arguing up point with Elton Garcia and tosses a card right in his grill. Shuttler just got his 6th yellow, so he's 2 away from an accumulation suspension.
We've seen a lot of unlikely things through 35 minutes.
Yeah.
6 yellow cards for a goalkeeper. That's impressive.
Is it? Hackshaw reaching up to his face, and it takes a lot for him to stay down. Zubak's going to check on him. Not a lot of people more universally respected in this league. Nabil Hackshaw sort of stretching that jaw out. So stoppage here, 36 minutes into the game. Riley the go-ahead back in the 15th minute. And Elton Garcia, starring figure in this playbill. One of the interesting things about Paul Hardiman is he leads, you'll hear it right, IDPs, individual development programs, sort of leads that process for Orange County, which is critical not only for senior players, but also some of the younger academy products that have come through. And so he really has a massive role in individual development as much as the ultimate tactic of the team. So they'll have to continue, you'd imagine, since he found out he'd get the job on Monday. It all came together very quickly. The first phone call to Orange County actually came on Friday about Morton Carlson, and within 24 hours, that had more or less been sewn up. Ultimately, the club made the announcement on Tuesday morning after, of course, Orange County gone to Indy and upset Indy 11 on the road, snapping their 8-game win streak. That Morton Carlson would exit, go to Lyngby in Denmark, and Hardiman would step into the leading role. Motoring out of midfield, Scott. Nice shot. Here dealing with a coaching change. There's another one that came in the Western Conference today with Danny Stone in Phoenix, relieved of his duties. That one was a shocker timing wise. Here's Jamison. Bouncing ball. Clearance. You can hear Sherry from here.
And it starts with good 1v1 defending from Rasmussen again. Slightest deflection. And now that it forwards the Oakland Roots to play direct. I do think Chavez comes and catches Sherry. Watch the right leg right there. Does not feel nice for a number 9. Sherry does really well to hold the hold-up play, relieve some of the pressure that they've been under. And he's a really interesting figure for the Oakland Roots. Raw in his experience, I would say. Also, everything that he has, the intangibles, the pace, the power, the size. Now, how do you get him a little bit more polished in around the goal? Because if you do, he can be a handful for any defender. Pair him with Tom Dwyer, Johnny Rodriguez. It's a big problem for opponents in the back line in the Western Conference.
Well, and let's be honest about Sherry coming from Violette. There's not much in terms of domestic football in Haiti at the moment, and there are large extenuating circumstances that provide the reason for that. But Violette did make it into Champions Cup. He dropped 2 on major Mexican opponent in Leon, 2 more on Austin. Ball dropped in over the top.
Those 2 goals this season. If he can get around the 7-goal mark, I think it'll be fantastic news for the Oakland Roots.
Rasmussen plays this over the line with Jamison nearing it. Nothing there. City side fiber corner kick. Lamb. That's a towering attempt from Zubak. It stays in play, and so Gomez gets as far up the line as he can.
Really good ball in from Lamb. We've seen his quality to whip a ball in. And the hops of Zubak, impressive. Just unable to get any sort of contact on the ball. Timed it to perfection. Been really quiet 42 minutes in.
That is only the 6th touch of the half for Ethan Zubak. Njai. Oakland has the lead, and they deserve it. They've been solid in the run of play, and of course the set piece, the separator, 15 minutes in. Riley. Back from Gomez. Here's Riley once more. Goal scorer tonight. High energy, box-to-box guy. He's actually a really good scorer at the University of the Pacific. 19 goals. He actually passed Tristan Blackman for the all-time scoring lead in Tiger lore. He just hid that club in his bag for the last half-decade. Scored a bunch of, I mean, a lot of goals for Brayden, right? Dozens?
Tried to.
Yeah, okay.
Did all right.
Look, I didn't draft you in the first round, but then no one asked me to select anybody, but I would have. Flood. I wish I'd had a pick, buddy.
There you go. That's all that matters, I thought, right? Great touch.
Zubak. The touch was right, but the positioning was wrong. He was offside.
Just seems to be breaking down for Orange County once they get into that final third. It's stagnant, not enough movement, not enough rotation fluidity. Not seen enough, like I just said, of Zubac, Dunbar. Really quiet in those two players. Need to get on the ball a little bit more and be more influential for the home side. On the other side, if you're Gavin Glinton, you need to be really pleased with how your side has performed here on the road. Professional in their own right, defensively compact, has not got stretched out whatsoever. Managed moments throughout this 44 minutes. You got your opportunity, you made no mistake about it.
Jamison able to lead that. Hackshaw, that's a foul.
Hackshaw knows it.
Yep.
This time challenge from the center back. If he does make a play on this ball, it needs to be with his right foot. As he tries to swing across his body, gets it all wrong. Jamison's quicker. A really interesting location here for Orange County. Plethora of options.
And you imagine Hardeman is saying, how's that not a yellow?
It should be.
Right?
It should be.
Based on the way this game has been officiated.
100% it should be, and I do think there is an argument to be had.
And that's the problem with handing them out so early with so much leeway.
Now you have to be consistent.
Sorto and Flood. If you're unfamiliar with Flood's left foot, watch out. Could go either way. Blanchette's ready. Sorto. It was a dipping ball that Blanchette is able to fully envelop.
It's such a difficult technique as you open up your foot and keep your legs straight on the follow through. You're trying to get that dipping motion. Ideally, you would want it to bounce right before it reaches Paul Blanchette.
Rasmussen off the mark for Sherry. 4 minutes of Zulfagari Law stoppage time. Advancing quickly through Zubac down the right. Bouncing ball in front is sent away by Diaz for a corner.
Well, that's Zubac. Now he makes his run towards the corner. What's the secondary action look like? You need someone slashing across that near post, because if they do, it's an easy tap in. And if you don't get on the end of it, you open up a space for a secondary runner. You need a true number 9 to play off the shoulder of Ethan Zubac. Puts it a fantastic ball in.
City side fiber corner kick. Owen Lamb, 3 assists on the season, has already surpassed his total from last year. Hackshaw domineering. Scott. Chata back wide. Lamb will have a second bite of the apple. Orange County trying to build on the win at Indy. Go to New Mexico on the 3rd, then host Memphis. Red, white, and blue night at the Champ.
That's awesome.
On so many levels. Before they go cross country and take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies in mid-July. Sounds like a real joy. Scott. Rowdies fell to Loudon tonight, believe it or not. 2-0. Scott. Flood did enough, kept it in. Sorto. Long throw into the box. Fell to Scott. Scott! Ball taken out of the air and lashed back toward frame by Dunbar. And that clearance only marginally more convincing.
talked about the importance of restarts. Long throw in from Ryan Flood. You put the thing in the mixer and you just see what happens. Two instances. It's last-ditch defending effort for Menjai.
Scott. Hackshaw got there first. Jamison saying, shouldn't that be a corner? Mission accomplished. This could be the last chance of the half.
Versus Kyle Scott that does really well to get it on target. But this block from Menjai is fantastic because Dunbar hits it so clean. If he's not there, it's 1-1. Paul Blanchett has no chance. Closer proximity, the technical ability from Dunbar. Looking for quality here from Owen Lamb at the death of this first half.
Lamb comes high. Sorto, they weren't even going to let that play. And that is halftime. It's Camden Riley in the 15th minute. 1-0 lead for the Roots on the road.
You need to be really pleased if you are Gavin Clinton. Box defending was fantastic. Made no mistake about his opportunity, and a lot we look forward to. If you're Orange County, you need to get on the ball a little bit more and play at your speed. All to play for in this next 45.
This match presented by IPA Physio, the official physical therapy partner of Orange County Soccer Club. They'll present the halftime report. Thor's like, and the home of the brave. Oakland bravely leading at halftime in Hardeman's debut. 1-0 at the half.
I'm Jay, and as founder of Omega, I understand that as a business owner, you've got a lot in your mind. Let the tax credit ninjas at Omega get you the money. It's rightfully yours. It's not too late to score big on tax credits, but you gotta act fast.
We welcome you back to Irvine, California. Orange County trails Oakland 1-0 at halftime. Mike Watts rejoining you. Earlier this week, the news from Orange County a bit shocking on its face. Morten Carlson arrived here about a year and a half ago. He was thrust into that coaching role shortly thereafter after a difficult start last season under Richard Chaplow. And what he did at the tail end of that campaign gave a lot of optimism about what lied in store for Orange County. But the chance to go home to a Danish Superliga side as big as Lyngby, too good to pass up. And so one of the great coaches in the league, Morten Carlson, bids adieu. It's part of a larger path to Europe for Orange County, one that oftentimes will leave fans disappointed that the Stars do in fact move on to the brighter lights. Morten Carlson with his message to fans delivered on USL All Access on Tuesday night.
Morten, you spoke to the connection that you formed with people in Orange County. What's the message that you leave to their fans? Because, again, this did all come along rather quickly. Ultimately, usually, you get through a season and another opportunity comes along. The international calendar as it is, this is the chance to jump and make the move to Europe and to go home. What's the message that you leave to Orange County fans, if you could speak to them now?
Yeah, I would like to express my gratitude and my thank you for their support. It's a lovely club that they have, and it keeps growing. So the support has been fantastic, and I want to say thank you to them. I will be back for a game to see Mr. Hardiman in charge and support the club, and I will support the club also from abroad. It's the club is in my heart forever. It's been a true pleasure. And then my last thing is just to support and push the team into the playoffs and hopefully win the championship with a new leader in charge.
You guys had an unbelievable comeback on a night in Orange County. It was a beer garden night. And I asked you what the difference was in the stadium, and you said everybody was drunk. And I said, can you recreate that? And you said, release the beers. And it's maybe the favorite line I've ever gotten from any coach call in my time. You were always so kind and humorous in moments that, called for it, and serious in moments that called for it. I'm wishing you all the best in Denmark. Genuinely a big fan of yours moving forward. So really appreciate you taking time with us.
Thank you. I really appreciate talking to you guys as well, and all the best. And I will follow your show. I will follow the league from afar, and then hopefully I'll see you again one day.
That is Morten Carlson on Tuesday morning, just trying to get his passport renewed so that he could go to Denmark. And he's already busy with Lyngby. Oakland up 1-0 at the half.
New flavors, the same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador, spiked bebidas.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
It will take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2,
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
what a moment.
Gannon cutting back heel. Bennett, Starter.
Here's space for Hanya. What about that? And the switchbacks jump out in front. Here's Pacheco bearing down on goal. Pacheco brings what a field to life.
Halftime is presented in part by IPA Physio, the official physical therapy provider of Orange County Soccer Club. Oakland up 1-0 at the half. Let's give you an idea of what the Western Conference standings look like, why this game means quite so much. Orange County coming into the night right at the playoff line. Goal difference hanging behind Colorado Springs and Phoenix. Meanwhile, Oakland has a chance to jump into that top 2 if they're able to grab a win here tonight, and then watch Oakland drop all 3 points in their late matchup. There's plenty of action throughout this summer, including a ton on national television. It is the USL's Summer of Soccer on CBS, CBS Sports Network, and ESPN2. We've got League One action, the Henny Derby as it's known, CBS-SN on Wednesday night. It's a doubleheader, which includes Sacramento and Las Vegas, the late game, 4th of July fireworks. The home of the Air Force in Colorado Springs when they welcome Tulsa. Charleston will see the Legion July 5th on ESPN2. Pick another game that really stands out to you, Ricky.
I think you look at the Oakland Roots in Sacramento Republic on Big CBS, 4 p.m. July 21st. Those two teams throughout the years have played fantastic matches. Close in proximity, always a little bit of an extra motivation, rivalry, derby game. You call it. I think that's the one that you have to circle on July 21st. Do not miss out.
One of 2 games you'll see on Big CBS this summer. 1-0 Oakland. Feels like summer here in SoCal. This match is presented in part by IPA Physio, the official physical therapy partner of Orange County Soccer Club. And once again, the Noah Benardou Foundation wants to remind fans to never drive drunk and get home safely. Oakland 1-0 lead at halftime. Halftime has been presented by IPA Physio. Here we go, looking first half highlights between these sides. And this is an Oakland Roots team that has gone on the road and looked a confident bunch. We start in the 10th minute of play, and Oakland on the attack.
3 wins on the road for this Oakland Roots side. It starts with the expansive nature of Gavin Clinton. Fantastic ball in for Memo Diaz on the backside as he tries to bend it into the path of Johnny Rodriguez, and he does not miss it by much. His movement in the final third sets him apart.
And then 5 minutes later, the opening goal. It's the redirect back across that makes this the easiest and only second of Riley's career.
Fantastic stuff from Sherry. Does everything that you want a striker. Better angle, but just look at the lack of responsibility and lack of man marking for Orange County. And in the blink of an eye, they're down a goal here at home.
And Oakland continued to try and pile on. Rodriguez was the target up high and ultimately was able to swivel into it.
He's been really impressive. Has not got on the ball a lot, but off the ball, he's been influential, pulling players out of position. It's a straightforward save. Just watch his technical ability. First touch out of his body, second touch unleashes a rocket from the Mafeka. Fantastic splitting ball off Miles and Flood. Nothing that they can do. Straightforward save for Shuttler.
And then first minute of stoppage time, not nearly good enough from Sorto to beat a guy like Paul Blanchette. Then the final seconds of the first half. Few opportunities in the penalty area, offset pieces.
Get a second bite at the apple here as this ball falls kindly to Dunbar, and Jai's there to save the day. Last-ditch defending effort makes himself big, because if he does not, that's in the back of the net. We walk into halftime, 1-1.
1-0 at the half. And these Orange County fans back in position for the second half. A reminder that 10-ticket flex packs are the best way to attend multiple matches or to use all 10 tickets when your friends and family out to a match here at the Champ. At orangecountysoccer.com/flex-packs for more information. My man Gnarly, what's up, bro?
Thor or no, Gnarly?
Is this a question?
It's a question.
I'm following this man to the ends of the earth.
Yes, okay.
Or beast or whatever we're going to call it. I don't really know.
A fan favorite.
Let's play soccer. Orange County trails Oakland 1-0 at the half. Is he man or is he beast? No one knows, Ricky. No one knows. Scott. Rather than concede the corner, better to give the throw. Hackshaw gets the job done. Both teams unchanged at the half. Orange County made 2 changes coming into the game. Sorto Miles for Kasipli, and the injured Brian Alaski, whose season is over after suffering an ACL tear at the Mike in Indianapolis last week. Ball lobbed into the box. That is a corner. Oakland made 5 changes coming into this game, including Donaciano, who's unavailable tonight. Notably, Dom Dwyer is available off the bench this evening for Oakland. Could feature here in the second half. Corner presented by City Side Fiber. Lamb. Mfeka. Rodriguez trailing. Gomez did a really good job just clearing space, didn't he?
It's a really clever run. He knows he's not going to get the ball. What he does, he pulls both players with him, and now that opens Johnny Rodriguez here on this near side. Fantastic touch.
Oh, wow. Riley received from Diaz, and Riley just got taken out. The AR helping to say that's a clean tackle. And a foul from Hackshaw. That's probably worthy of a full review.
Technical ability from Memo Diaz to go around the corner in this challenge.
It's the trailing leg that got the ball, too.
Times it really well. Miles there. Camden Riley's okay to keep on going.
Miles goes through Shuttler. Miles put under so much pressure. Scott won the ball. In behind, Zubak. Hackshaw intermingles. Going to go back to an injured Root back behind the play. there have been some wild sliding tackles right off the bat in the second half. Have to see from this angle, but I think it's Johnny Rodriguez who's down. Yeah.
50-50 ball between Scott and Johnny Rodriguez. Really tough to see from there. You know, if the first action, the initial touch was on the ball from Kyle Scott. Good to see Johnny Rodriguez on his own feet.
There's the drop. Here we go. Scott. Miles. Flood. Rodriguez right back into the game. And Miles gave him a reason to shiver again.
Second time we've seen him. Miles come across and leave his feet at the right time. His timing and the challenges have been perfect to start this second half.
He is so much more physical than you'd anticipate from a 19-year-old. Was really getting his first extended cup of coffee as a pro this year. 7 games, 2 starts. He only played 208 minutes last year. And Miles has a long career here, or ends up getting transferred elsewhere. I imagine he's going to prove to be a really good option for Orange County as long as he remains.
He's been really impressive. The ability to read the game as well. Understand when to leave his feet, when to stay his ground. Not easy to play. Different variety that the Oakland Roots have on the front line of Sherry and Rodriguez.
Gomez squares. Down into the corner for Njai. That's so-so. Diaz. Feka. Little back heel. Diaz! Snatched by Shuttler. Diaz may have gotten canceled out at the end of that, too. Oh, he's grabbing his right arm. See how he landed.
Watch how quickly the Oakland Roots get numbers higher up the field, and then it comes down to decision-making for Sherry. He does fall awkwardly. Diaz likes to go with the outside of his foot.
Memo's back up. You just sort of hope he landed on the funny bone, right? Because so often you'll see that and it just puts your shoulder in such an awkward position. Long ball over the top. That's asking questions. Zubak!
Been surprised we haven't seen more of this from Orange County. The ability to play Route 1 and gain some real estate higher up the field, especially with Zubak. Creates a little bit of separation between him and Hackshaw, unable to get it on target, but he needs to get going. If Orange County have any hopes of drawing even here. Raymond was really pleased with him last time out at Indy. And these are moments that you miss Brian Olowski. Ability to play in those gray areas right off the shoulder of Gomez and Matsoso. You have no one operating in between lines, so that makes life very easy for the 2 center backs and midfielders for the Oakland Roots. Center backs can be aggressive at stepping up into that little pocket, or Matsoso just drops in and plays as a screen in front of Riley and Hackshaw.
Man, Zuback has really shown some explosion when he gets running tonight. Flood turning, Sorto! Well, everyone's trying to score these crazy goals. They all count the same, folks.
It's such a clever ball, though, from Ryan Flood, because as this back line is retreating towards our goal line, the space is about 11 yards out. Not the best of touches from Sorto. Acrobatic. He balances all off. But he does have the quality and his locker to put that on target. Very impressed with the decision-making of Ryan Flood on this near end as an outside back. Provides a lot of quality for Orange County.
Well done by Flood. Scott, Sorto, advantage played. Gomez trying to slow this down. Ultimately, Orange County pittered out of their own volition. That's a foul from Sherry.
I'd argue, Mike, that's the same foul that Chada had in the first half.
Yep.
And that's where the problem is in terms of the consistency or lack thereof. It's the exact same thing. Comes in late. Takes out his standing leg. Sherry's lucky not to see yellow.
And look, I'm fine if neither given is a yellow. But, and ultimately, I don't think we need to dip too deep into last week. But if you're Oakland, I can understand how you feel hard done not having Cozy Tenaciano this week either.
100%.
With his second yellow. That'll slide through to Flood. Diaz is practically begging Flood to cut that inside, and he just never did. But a corner nevertheless. City side fiber corner kick. And that's a foul by OCSC. County has never lost at home to Oakland, 3-0-1. Lead the series 5 wins in 8 games. 2021 USL Championship winners. Oakland just narrowly missed the playoffs last year. In third coming into the night. Ball whipped in front of goal. Snuck between the legs of Rodriguez. Diaz. Picked off by Sorto.
Those are moments you need to be a little bit better if you are Orange County. You do well to recover the ball. Oakland Roots have left themselves vulnerable going back the other way.
Change coming here for the Roots. It's their first sub. It is Cedeno off the bench for Sherry. Subs are brought to you by MetaQuip. Sherry, the header down that unlocked Orange County on the set piece in the 15th minute. Riley is going to get credit for the goal, but without Sherry, there is no lead.
First assist on the season. Good performance from Sherry. Oh, you have to think that Johnny Rodriguez will be the one spearheading the attack, and then you have Cedeno and Mafeka underneath him. Two players that are very clever, that like to operate in between lines. Left footers. How quickly can Cedeno get up the tempo? That's going to be the question for Gavin Clinton and the Silken Root side.
Njai continues to sweep it ahead. Finally, Orange County's ripped it away. Took 4 orange shirts to do the job. Ball hung up, grabbed by Shuttler. You know, Ricky, how many times do we hear coaches say, well, I'm able to make a lot of changes because the depth of our roster is such that the top and the bottom are not drastically different. Ultimately, you just look for the right tool for the job on a given occasion. And oftentimes that means I don't have a star on my team. And it's a polite way of saying that. Oakland is one of the few teams where I look at in the league this year, and I genuinely feel like that in the best way possible. This is built to be by committee. It's built to be one team being greater than the sum of the parts. And so when Sherry comes off, you've exchanged sort of the tools that you want in that moment. Sherry, a more domineering, physical player up front, as we saw in the set piece. You bring in Cedeno and put Rodriguez in. Suddenly you've got the right tools to be able to counter off an Orange County team that's going to be pushing numbers for a goal here down the stretch. I don't feel like you lost that much this out of play.
I think you look at this Oakland Root side, and it's the variety of looks that they can give you. Talking about different looks. Among will come on for Sorto.
Sub brought to you by MetaQuip. Among's 13th appearance this year, and just his 4th off the bench coming off injury.
Back to the Oakland Roots, just the flexibility of different looks that they can afford. Whether it is with Sherry as a target number 9, even Dom Dwyer comes to that. Now he's kind of a hybrid. He can come to feet, but he can also run down the channel. And then you have Johnny Rodriguez, who we've had a chat with Gavin Clinton, one of the most underrated players in all of the USL Championship, just with his movement. You pair Cedeno and Lindo Mafeka underneath them, and those two players can play as a false number 9, right? So it just depends on, I guess, maybe the opposition. Well, Gavin Clinton sees what he sees in training. With this Oakland Root side, I do think you nailed the head on the head, Michael. It's been so impressive to see just the different looks and how deep that this roster can be. Great
There's
ball.
the ball through. That is excellent. Rodriguez leading back across. And by Shuttler, who came out and challenged. And Njai had a chance to give Oakland their second.
That's exactly why you bring Cedeno in. But as Johnny Rodriguez picks up this ball, this needs to be first time for Njai. You do not have the ability, the time to pick up a second touch. And doing that, now you give Shuttler the angle. He comes off his line, makes himself big, and what an opportunity that would have been to double your lead for the Oakland Roots.
Is that one of those he was trying to put it on the correct foot kind of touch, or it sort of felt like he got sort of
between two minds?
Yeah, a little bit, right?
You just open up your hips and simply guide it into that near post. Because as a goalkeeper, you're already moving your feet and you're shifting over. Looking back on that one, he's going to want it back, Njai.
away from Among.
For Orange County, Among will play up top with Zubak, and now Jamison will play on the right-hand side.
Turned over to Cedeno. Pops it over into an offside. Jai.
This takes a little bit too long for Daniel to make a decision here.
Wow, what a run from Scott. Broke a couple lines on the dribble. Shuttler's Tecker tape goes wrong there. Cedeno got enough to guide it. Gomez. Long ball, that's excellent. Rodriguez.
This is some pass from Memo Diaz over the head of Miles, right onto the path of Johnny Rodriguez. His first touch lets him down, sends him away from goal. A really difficult angle to get it back across your body.
If you're Miles, aren't those the vet lessons that you're going to be learning as a 19-year-old center back? Like, Johnny Rodriguez, as good as anybody in the league, it's sort of surprising you in that way with his runs.
As a center back, your body position is everything, especially when the ball's in a wide area. You have to have your hips open so you can see the ball and you can also see the run. Once you get your hips closed and get caught ball watching, smart players like Johnny Rodriguez, that's the way you can see the goal. Defending 101.
Daniel finds the width. A step inside, ball blasted at Shuttler. Oakland gets to go home, but it's not going to be the most enjoyable of July 6th. We'll see Louisville City, who just dropped 4 in the second half of their game tonight, but appeared to lose Jorge Gonzalez due to a fairly gruesome injury at Birmingham. They'll come on the 6th, and then they'll go to Pittsburgh. Get two of the traditional Eastern Conference powerhouses back-to-back. Zubak muscling off Masoso, the former Lou City player. Meanwhile, Orange County will go to New Mexico, see the top team in the Western Conference, and host Memphis, and then go to Tampa Bay in the middle of July. Both teams, you could argue, have got a rough go of it upcoming. Either great opponents coming to you or having to go to tough places. Makes this game all the more important as this escapes the line.
70 minutes. We haven't really seen
So they are throwing in the Oakland direction. There's a couple changes here. So Bracken Sarah comes in for Masoso. And then it's Trivum Reed in for Njai. Subs are brought to you by MetaQuip. Second and third changes, second window for Oakland.
We haven't really seen this Orange County side getting any sort of rhythm through 70 minutes. Been able to find a way to break through this Oakland Root side, who has conceded 25 times in this campaign thus far. Something that Paul Hardiman wants to see a little bit more of, just the players in the center of the park, and Chada and Scott, just to put their foot on the ball and get the confidence within the side. They're either very sloppy or just Route 1 football.
By the way, Bracken Sarah, just the third appearance for the 18-year-old in the championship. He is committed to play at Cal Berkeley, the noted Atlantic Coast Conference powerhouse. That is going to be a weird universe. Oh my goodness. Wonder if they'll play a non-conference game against the Big Ten's USC. It's baffling.
Just sounds.
They'll stop off and visit one of the SEC schools, you know, taking a match at Oklahoma or Texas. I digress. This whole thing has been a digression. We're sort of getting to that time of year, right? Start of July. Some of those academy guys that you've been able to put on your bench a couple times, exiting their high school senior year, they're about to go to college. And all of a sudden you don't have access to some players that can help you when the herd is a bit thinned out.
We make a decision. Watch out.
Ball scooped up. That was seemingly hand-to-hand combat at the top of the 18.
Very casual from Among, who's deep in your defensive half. This is your striker here. Tries to recover his mistake. Never peeks over his shoulder. Fortunate enough for him, so Daniel unable to make any sort of thing with that opportunity.
Here's another bit of good news for Orange County. Only the 6th appearance of the year for Ryan Dogman. On for Jamison, whose role in the second half was a tad more limited.
I have to think that's going to push up Ryan Flood now, as Dogman will play on this left-hand side.
Give Flood another 15 minutes, he'll be playing in the 9. And he is truly, genuinely electric. Feka, he just got tussled down by Scott. And he is surely grateful he's not on a yellow yet. That's an obvious one.
Yet again, just so casual. Too complacent for Kyle Scott. Feka picks his pocket. It is a foul transitional moment. Knows exactly what he's doing. But those are moments that you cannot afford to happen. Down a goal here at home. 17 plus remaining.
Casual, I don't know if they're tired. Certainly it's been a wild week with the change in manager, and so often you change your manager mid-season because you're trying to make an impact on the team. You're not in good form. Orange County comes off their best win of the year. Happened to lose their coach because he was desired by a big European club. They just have looked a bit lethargic here in the second half. Diaz pops that long, and Oakland doesn't get anything on it at all.
And it's usually the opposite when a head coach comes in, a new coach comes in. You want to prove yourself in terms of the quality of the energy, especially at home. Like you said, coming off the win at Indy, you would expect this side to take this game to the Oakland Roots, but it's actually been the opposite.
That's a good move by Dogman. Gets it through to Zubac. Among. Rattled through the legs of Riley. It's a corner that undid Orange County on this end 15 minutes in. Now with 15 minutes to go, the long throw. Header into the air, Dogman got beneath it, and Oakland will not suffer a bookended fate. OC Great Park on this Saturday night. All the lights on at this massive complex in Irvine. Nearly given away again by Scott. Peace, but it ultimately leads Orange County to a more full-throated attack. Cross all the way through. Finds Flood on the other side. Hangs it up, there's Blanchett. So Ryan Dogman almost had an incredible return if he just gets the magic touch.
And it's the timing from Dunbar as he plays off the shoulder of this back line of the Oakland Roots. Right where you want this ball, across the goal mouth. Just no one there. Smash it home. Great look at it. Enough pace. Dogman unable to get any sort of contact on it. In the end, the easy save for Paul DeWalt yet again.
Blanchett missed a couple of games. Timothy Sorrell came in, played quite well, actually. 4th year as a starter for the Roots. Watch out, that's headed to the bouncy slide. I'm not even going to ask if that ended up on the slide. It's been a long weekend, Ricky. Corner for Oakland. Something from Shuttler. Enough from Shuttler. Kept in, clever touch. Cedeno making himself available. Diaz curling in. Snap back down by Rasmussen. Fecka touching over. There's the second for Oakland. And Johnny Rodriguez hammers it home and puts the Roots up by 2. And the Roots continue to race up the Western Conference standings.
Just look at the space from Afeka. No one closes him down. 18 yards out, the lack of willingness. And as he draws in 3 defenders, it's a decision-making. And the timing of this pass to Johnny Rodriguez. 4 goals on the season. Clinical finisher. Great first touch. Doubles the lead for the Oakland Roots, and he gets his 5th on the season. We cannot afford Lyndon Mafeka the ability to pick up his head to turn to get his body language right and make a decision from about 12 yards out.
Rodriguez, who's just recently crossed over the 100-game plateau for the Roots, pushing Oakland to a 2-goal advantage here in Orange County and on the verge of a season sweep against their California rival. And it could put him in second, Ricky, if the result holds pending what Sacramento does tonight.
Like, you just look at the goals that this Orange County side has conceded here. First, it's the lack of man marking. You get caught ball watching. And that one, not just not having the legs to close down the space. Very preventable and going to be frustrating. You go back and watch the game film, especially with this team of the Oakland Roots. These sort of mistakes, you're going to get punished.
Tom Dwyer has pulled off his penny. It appears he may be soon to enter. Still trying to get him fully fit at this stage. Ultimately did not put him on the bus to Monterey Bay last Saturday, which robbed a national audience of a chance to see Dwyer back after a season-long hiatus last year. Off the mark. Only one window remaining for the Roots, so if they want to make change here, they either have to use two or drop one to the cutting room floor. Sacramento plays Hartford tonight in the California capital. And scoreless before halftime. Ball over to Flood. And Orange County find a lifeline back into this game. Scott was trailing. And Fecka ground down by Scott.
And he's been so good tonight, Lindo. The work rate on both sides of the ball. And his quality to come out within. How much of a special player he can be for the Oakland Roots as they continue to push up the table in the Western Conference.
Free kick. Here comes, quote, a bunch of subs. There'll be Ruiz here for Orange County. Rodriguez, night complete. He's going to be replaced up top by Dom Dwyer. Dwyer has played twice against Orange County, both in his days with then USL side Orlando City. He won a game, he lost a game, but he never scored a goal. And the most recent meeting was April 19th, 2013. A 3-2 Orlando win with future commentator Jamie Watson bagging a brace, including the winning penalty. Here comes Dom Dwyer. All the while, Nico Ruiz, the 18-year-old, checks into the game on the other side. Dwyer at the age of 33, no club last year, and ultimately deemed this the right opportunity to resume his professional career. And Brian Tamakis in as well, the El Salvador international. Cut out en route to Dwyer. Bouncing back, Cedeno. Zubak had to come really deep to retrieve that. That long run from Among. Among, contact from Riley. And that, a clean challenge, according to Elton Garcia.
It's a really good first touch from Among. As he closes down the angle, I'll tell you what, I think that's a foul.
And look, Among's touch, like, out into a position that Riley had sort of garnered a bit, but
I think the ball's gone. He makes a play on the body, Camden Riley. There's a reason why I'm not in the center of the park like Elton Garcia is.
well, and you get the benefit of looking at it a couple times, right? He does not. Cedeno slips it ahead. Offside. No goal. MLS goals for Dom Dwyer. Known best for his time in Kansas City and Orlando. Made it all the way to the point where the U.S. national team made it worth his while to make the switch, earn his citizenship in the U.S. You know, we think all the action happens between the lines, but what if we tell you that there's actually been a pretty decent use of hands? Watch this. Mustafa.
Our fourth was really impressed too.
And all the while, Among had some words with Garcia. You would imagine dating back to that contact with Riley previous. He's gotten yellow for dissent.
The frustration from the striker. Fourth player for Orange County in the book. Joined Shota, Scott, and Shuttler.
By the way, you might wonder what Mustafa's role in all this is, as Miles drops it off. Shuttler taps it ahead. Mustafa there, who made the catch, is what's called a red hat. Essentially the person in charge of helping delineate some of the news from the fourth official to the broadcast crew. So, ever valuable, but also worthy of multiple replays. Watch this. One-handed snatch.
That's impressive. That is impressive. Just a casual day at the office.
What a snag.
You can do that.
No.
You're selling yourself short. Come on.
Threw my back out just watching it. Ball hung over the top. Whoa, that contact from behind by Rasmussen. There's a big finger wag. Anywhere else on the field, that's a foul.
That's going to be the argument here. He does a little bit of contact here, Ruiz, and he goes down, and he knows exactly what he's doing. But I do agree with you, Mike. If that's at the center of the park, he's whistling that, Elton Garcia is.
He feels that contact, and then the arm gets extended. But it's a discerning whistle once you get that far up the field. Showing off some of the foot skills, enough to maintain. Cedeno nearly broke free. Whoa!
Watch out.
There's a yellow immediately shown. Dom Dwyer going in late. And Dogman getting crunched at the end of this.
Thought he got fouled going back the other way. He comes in aggressive and rash. Watch how he swings through this and takes all of Dogman, none of the ball. I've seen a different color given for less. I think he's really lucky to stay on this field, Dom Dwyer.
And Dogman wanted no part of a handshake after that.
Rightly so.
Stoppage time from Zulfagari Law, 5 added minutes. And Dom Dwyer has just picked up his 3rd yellow card in 70 minutes. Over 4 appearances with Oakland. This bouncing contact again from Hackshaw. Well, that one I think the referee certainly has right. This is starting to get a bit ugly. Ball through, off the turn. Zubac levies. And Ruiz coming. There's Blanchette.
You think a little bit of complacency coming in for the Roots. I do think Ruiz goes down far too easy. There's a little bit of contact. But if you don't give the first one, you don't give the second one, you can't give that third one. And that's what comes into consistency yet again for Elton Garcia.
Well, based on where these teams are about to be when this night concludes, it's right in the ballpark of you could see it again in November. And I would imagine there'd be some hard feelings if we got to see this match a 3rd time this year. Oakland, 6 games ago, took out Orange County on home ground. And they're on the verge with 3 minutes remaining of doing it again here in Orange County. Getting their first win down here in Irvine. I'm thinking Paul Hardiman may have just talked himself into a booking. That's a gift. And a card in his first game as the manager. Not quite sure what was said to the 4th, but apparently it was enough. Of course, Morten Carlson got sent off after a game a couple of weeks ago. A remark to Morten after that game, if you just said what you said in Danish, I think you would have gotten away with it too. Hardiman doesn't have that option.
No, he does not. We've seen some hard challenges.
But you go back to the start of this half and Miles had 2 or 3 right off the bat where you thought, okay, that's the tone.
He's been setting the tempo and the tone. I don't think he gets any of the ball.
No, I don't know how that's not a foul.
He gets all of Memo Diaz.
And look, to Diaz's credit, he taps him and goes, all right, game on. This one for me has been a little perplexing.
Yeah.
Really.
Don't really know what a foul is anymore.
No, I don't. Reed took it away. Hooked back upfield. Lamb is forward trying to take it away from Hackshaw. Well, I think the only whistle I want to hear from here is several in a row. Top of the 18, Among. He goes down. And mercifully, this one's over. Oakland picks up a 2-0 win over Orange County, and they catapult for the moment into second place in the West. Riley's first goal since 2019 opened the scoring. Then Johnny Rodriguez backs another one. His 5th of the year in the 79th. Tonight's OCSC Man of the Match presented by Hogue. Ashton Miles did set a tone. There's no doubt about that.
He was really good at winning his individual duels. How many times did we see him leave his feet at the right time? It was a stalwart in the back line for Orange County. Big-time future for this young man.
Tonight's match brought to you by Raising Cane's, the official chicken fingers of Orange County Soccer Club. Oakland win it 2-0. We'll wrap it up on the other side of the break. Tonight's postgame is brought to you by Raising Cane's, the official chicken fingers of Orange County Soccer Club. Paul Hardiman is getting his money's worth postgame. He got a yellow during the match, and he evades, picking up the second here as he makes his way off after an elongated postgame conversation. Oakland a 2-0 win. Let's rack up the highlights. We start the 15th minute, and it's Sherry who tees it up. The full-time highlights presented by Omega Accounting. Riley the goal.
And everyone in an orange jersey just turns around at this ball. No one has the whereabouts to stay with their individual marker. Jamison, he turns around the corner. Sherry says, I have an open man about 2 yards out. He's onside. In the Oakland Roots here. Opening part 1-0 up. And yet again, because everyone for Orange County just watching, no one closes down the space, and once Mafeka turns the corner, now you get the two center backs to collapse. And doing that, you have Johnny Rodriguez just around the corner, free as you would like, 5th on the season. Oakland Roots 2 goals away from home, off to the corner to celebrate 3 points for the Roots.
Tally up the Hogue final stats tonight, and a chance, Ricky, for your final thoughts as we take a peek.
I think if you're Gavin Clinton, the professional performance that you put forth in the back line, compact, strong in your individual duels, and then you let your players higher up the field to express themselves. And for Paul Hardiman, you didn't get on the ball nearly enough. You didn't really offer anything going forward. I think that's something that you need to get going as you progress into the 2024 campaign.
All right, so Oakland back on the horse, and for Orange County, they are humbled tonight after a win over the hottest team in the league. Gnarly enjoyed the Marvel superhero night here. Thor with the anthem and swinging the hammer. But ultimately, it's Oakland who strike twice for a 2-0 win. The postgame is brought to you by Raising Cane's, the official chicken fingers of Orange County Soccer Club. For Ricky and our entire team at OC and Beyond, Mike Watts saying so long from Irvine.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Great ball.
Shaw played it into Njai. And Njai's